Hello and thank you for joining us for the Michigan Priority Report for March 2018. Now, as you know, the big news this month was the March 14th passage of the Senate Regulatory Reform Bill, Senate Bill 2155. The Michigan Credit Union League, CUNA, and credit unions from across the country have been advocating for regulatory relief for years, and this bill is a strong step in the right direction. Today, I'll be providing you with some additional detail into what the Senate bill actually contains in the way of regulatory relief. Now, looking at several key provisions impacting credit unions, the bill addresses minimum standards for residential mortgage loans. Specifically, it provides that loans held in portfolio would be considered qualified mortgages for lenders with less than $10 billion in assets. Now, as we all know, lenders that hold loans in portfolio have a major incentive to ensure the borrower's ability to repay. Ultimately, this provision will help credit unions, many of which are primarily portfolio lenders, to continue to provide mortgages to their members, even in circumstances where rigid adherence to the one-size-fits-all qualified mortgage rule would deny a member the opportunity to own a home. The bill also removes the additional HMDA data points required to be collected by Dodd-Frank. This will provide much-needed regulatory relief, particularly for smaller credit unions, which otherwise bear a heavy expense to bring their systems into compliance with a rule that does very little, if anything, to provide members with additional protection. And importantly, Senate Bill 2155 provides credit unions with specific MBL relief through a parity provision. Under current law, when a bank makes a loan for the purchase of a 1 to 4 unit, non-owner occupied residential property, the loan is classified as a residential real estate loan. Now, credit unions that make the exact same loan, however, are forced to classify these as business loans, and Senate Bill 2155 reclassifies 1 to 4 unit non-owner occupied residential loans as residential real estate loans, so the loan wouldn't count against the member business lending cap. This stands to provide access to millions in additional dollars for capital for investments across the state of Michigan. Now, finally, the bill provides a safe harbor for credit union employees who report alleged elder financial abuse. The relationship between the credit union and its members puts credit union employees in an ideal position to detect suspicious activity around senior accounts. However, in some cases, privacy laws make it difficult, even impossible, for employees to ring the alarm bell when suspected exploitation is occurring. Now, the bill tells credit union employees very clearly, if you see something, say something. And when you do, you will not be held liable for doing the right thing. Now, we support this bill because it will reduce the regulatory burdens on credit unions. For example, credit unions will be able to make the process of getting a mortgage loan simpler. Local communities will have better access to affordable housing. And finally, and most importantly, with less regulatory burden, credit unions will be able to concentrate more on serving their members instead of spending time complying with unnecessary regulatory burdens originally intended for large Wall Street banks. Now, on behalf of the Michigan Credit Union League, I applaud Senators Gary Peters and Debbie Stabenow for taking leadership and working towards a meaningful compromise that benefits smaller, community-based institutions like credit unions. Their courage in working to find impactful reforms that benefit small lenders in communities across the state of Michigan earns them our support as champions for Michigan credit unions. While this is an important win for credit unions and credit union members both here in Michigan and across the country, it's not quite yet time for a victory lap. Even though the bill enjoyed bipartisan support in the Senate, we need to pay close attention as the bill moves into the House. We'll be working with Michigan credit unions to let their House members know that this is our top priority. We need to get through the House and onto the President's desk. Now, turning our attention to state advocacy, on April 18th and 19th, credit unions from across the state will be joining us in Lansing for the MCUL Government Affairs Conference. Several important topics of discussion at this year's conference will include data breach and lien holder notification standards. As previously reported, CUNA Chief Advocacy Officer Ryan Donovan will join us for a federal advocacy update. We'll also have John Koloff from DIFS and Jason Schultz from NCUA offering inside perspectives from regulators. Now, following the MCUL GAC, our Education and Events team is hosting its annual Spring Leadership Development Conference in Mount Pleasant from April 27th through the 29th, and Collectors Training School May 2nd in Troy. The Spring Leadership Development Conference is an event tailored for credit union CEOs, directors, and committee members, and offers high-level insights into areas like regulation and compliance, strategic and operational planning, lending, and more. This year's event is being held at the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort in Mount Pleasant, and attendees are encouraged to bring guests to enjoy the fun and activities surrounding the conference. Also in March, the CU Link Cooperative Advertising team finalized partner rates for our new and improved integration program. Michigan credit unions can visit mcul.org/integration to browse and download the new CU Link marketing assets, or to connect with one of MCUL's approved partners for easy campaign integration. Now, switching to CU Solutions Group news, CSG Technology Solutions recently finalized and published its first set of CMS updates for 2018. New enhancements to our flagship web content management system includes updates to data auditing, expanded ADA tools, and design and aesthetic upgrades. The team is now preparing its second set of enhancements, and in total expects to publish 10 batch updates in 2018. Technology Solutions also continues to make strides with ADA website compliance. The team now offers a comprehensive service that runs a deep scan of a credit union's website and automates the majority of required ADA corrections. Then, non-automated fixes are corrected manually, typically with a quick turnaround. Recently, CSG finalized a contract with a new service provider, AudioEye, at the beginning of November 2017, and we already have more than 60 ADA clients, a number that's steadily growing. The team is now working on an ADA web service specifically built for SAS credit unions. In March 2018, CSG Marketing Solutions launched our Just Getting By campaign nationally to use real stories of financial hardship to encourage honest conversations about money and financial education. The campaign provided attribution for CSG and serves as a vehicle to drive more traffic to CSG's social media management. We invite you to visit justgettingby.org today to watch and share these important stories. Now finally, our Performance Solutions team has launched a new product called Planning Pro. This strategic and operational planning software is designed to help boards develop their strategic plan and integrates tracking features designed to ensure your annual goals become a reality. Look for more information in the coming months on this exciting new product. Well, that's all for this month's edition of Priority Report. Before I sign off, I'd like to thank all our credit unions once again for their hard work and dedication as we work to pass regulatory relief. We scored a major victory this month, and it wouldn't have been possible without the strong and resilient grassroots support from the credit union community. While we certainly have more work to do, we should take a moment to recognize that when we come together and speak in a strong, unified voice, we can accomplish great things. We'll see you next month.